Welcome to 40 years of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yes, folks, the 40th anniversary edition is out, and it comes with some amazing new content. Content that should have probably been in the base game, but alas, it is finally here. We have helicopters, gliders, some good old classic missions if you're a vet of this series, and of course other fun content we're going to be going through today. Before we start, let us know in the comments below if there's any aircraft, scenarios, gliders, etc. that you want me to fly in an upcoming video. And of course, I'll have all the chapters linked below in both the video as well as the main description of the video. So we'll have our different sections of feature overview, gliding, my new favorite aircraft, helicopters, missions, and of course my last impressions on this new update. So let us get right into it. Alright, so we aren't going to be doing any tutorials today. They do have a little soaring mission in Italy, so we're going to be doing this. I do have a gliding video that explains how to fly a glider. It was based in X-Plane, but it's the same principles here. And before I got my private license, I did get my glider's pilot's license, and the nice thing is that I got a place at York Soaring, and unlike cadets, they actually teach you how to soar there, so you can actually stay in the air all day using thermals. So let's take a look at how they've implemented things in the game, and let's see how rusty I am when it comes to gliding, well, a glider. Now this is really interesting. They've actually kind of have a visual system of showing where the thermals are. So basically what a thermal is that just like it is, well, what it sounds like, not when you fart, but it's basically hot air rising. And if you ever go to France and Spain and Italy, all these countries with a lot of good mountains, of course you're going to get a lot of great thermals and just even updrafts, orographic lift, as the air pretty much goes against the mountain and rises on the windward side. So that's what we're getting right now. You can even hear the beeping, which is of course us gaining lift from absolutely nothing, which again is amazing. We have full wing flex, so if I pull back, we have the wings flexing with the G-forces, with the amount of lift we're producing. This is nice. And of course they have the good old soundtrack, which means I'm probably gonna have to mute this part of the video because copyright. But yeah, so it's kind of cool. I kind of want to see taking off with an actual aircraft here. 1 second. And here we are, folks. We are at Arthur Field. This is where I actually learned to fly gliders in real life before I got my private pilot's license. So yes, I did learn on gliders first. So I learned to fly without an engine, and today Gary here, everyone say hi, Gary, is gonna help us by signaling to the tow plane to give us take up slack here and let us get going. And of course, if you are new to glider flying, which a lot of you are, go check out my I'll put a little pin here or whatever up on the top corner. Go check out my video on how to glide. It's an X-Plane, but honestly same thing here. And of course you will learn one of the most important instruments here is this thread, because it helps us coordinate our turns. Yes, that's why helicopters and gliders have a it's not extra shoelace in case if you lose it. It's actually there for, you'll see what I mean. So to get it going, if you are new, gotta wiggle your tail, and you can see he's motioning to take up slack. And any second, yes, this is actually how we do it in real life. We're all hooked up, brakes are off, and let us get going onto our new adventure into the sky here. And of course, there you go, we're moving. We've got to keep our wings level here. And there you go. There's our beautiful high-tech turn bank. I'm serious about the thread. We actually do have it on real-life gliders and helicopters. Okay, so we can probably start to get a little bit. We do have takeoff flap here. Stay behind the tow plane, and we have enough lift. We'll stay low, ground effect, wait for him to get off. And depending where you learn to fly gliders, they rather say you put the main gear on the horizon, or there's some teachers that say you put the wings level on the horizon like that. I was personally taught put the gear on. I guess it kind of depends what aircraft it is. Like right now we're using a Cessna. I've always had like a Pawnee or a Piper Pawnee or good old Super Cub do it, so I've always, yeah, tail draggers, but a little bit of bumps today. That's good. All right. So yeah, this is generally how you fly, and of course you get flown up to whatever altitude. We can try 2 or 3,000. They haven't really implemented it. Ooh, there's some nice. We got some nice thermals today. Nice. They haven't really implemented it, I think, but there's something called boxing the wash, which you do when you get your glider's license. It's basically learning how to, well, you box the wash. So you basically, I'll show you what it is. It's a little bit, just kidding, it's not that bumpy. You go all the way to the left wing. There you go. You go all the way to the bottom. You basically make a box, because right around here, and then you go through the wash, which in real life it'll be all bumpy, like. Then you keep going to the bottom right. You come up here. And then you get in. Oh, look at that. And then you just wait for this. I don't really know what, because like this is how you stay like behind the aircraft in turns. You let the airplane lead a few seconds. With a high wing like tail wheel aircraft, there's like indications with like this, like the gear and everything. I'm not really sure what to do with the Cessna. I just try to stay behind it right now. Shush, this is the first time me flying a glider in a while, and it's in a sim. No, I'm excited that they finally have this in, and they say that they needed the extra time to get it all better, but I'm just happy it's finally in, and more people can learn about soaring, which is freaking amazing. So yeah, I know in programs like cadets, you wait for like the tow plane to like dip its wing and stuff, and then you can go, but I learned to soar. Basically, you can just disconnect whenever. As soon as, usually the pilots try to find a thermal for you, and they just they help you gain a little bit of altitude in the thermal and you release. But yeah, I can see it's a little bit of turb, but nothing really. You like turb, that means that you got good unstable air. You got rising air going. That's why we've got some clouds. So before we get into this cloud, let's disconnect from the tow plane there. Fly off to the right 90 degrees. We let him do his thing. And there you go. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so again with glider, as you probably know and or could tell, we do not have an engine. So I guess I should have put the gear up. So not used to a glider like that. So yeah, so basically your main indicator besides your butt in the seat is of course our little what is it called, varioscope or something. So we're actually getting a little bit of a thermal right now. Ooh. Actually, we're in one right now. You can actually see our altitude going up. So if we turn back, again, if you want to learn more about gliding, just watch my gliding video. This is more just me having some fun. We're in a little bit of sick now. And there we go. We get a little bit of extra. Yeah, it's not a huge thermal, but it's enough. And there you go. We're yeah, there we go. Whoa. Yeah, okay. But yeah, just imagine doing this for like hours on end. Like, the only time I've ever gotten sick in an aircraft was on a glider, believe it or not. I was in the rear passenger seat. I was like I was in a Grobe, and basically I was in the rear seat, so that seat right there. And I was flying with this guy for 2 or 3 hours. We're friends, and we were just in the same thermal for like 2 or 3 hours, like just following it across country and just following a cloud train. So a train of clouds in the sky, and of course clouds and birds, obviously easiest ways to find a good thermal. But basically, yeah, after 2 or 3 hours, I didn't have enough water. I got dehydrated and sick because of flying in circles for the same 2 or 3 hours, and I started to gag, but I didn't have anything to throw up, so it was just dry heaving. It was horrible, and I didn't say anything, but I'm pretty sure he could hear me, so he's like, oh, I think this is enough flying for today. But no, that was actually really fun. Obviously I didn't log any of that time, but it was still a good experience to have. And actually, I learned to fly with a gentleman. You can still look him up on Google. His name's Manfred Radius. He was one of my instructors, and he does glider aerobatics for air shows. Like, he has like giant sparklers and stuff, and he can fly the glider at night. He does aerobatics. It's absolutely amazing. Definitely search videos of him on YouTube. But yeah, that guy taught me how to do wingovers and everything. And last but not least, before we head out today, is stalling in a glider is way funner than stalling in a traditional powered aircraft, because again, you don't have any thrust, right? So whenever you stall, it's a lot more aggressive, I find, than in a powered aircraft. So again, you hold it and then boom. You could even see there that it's a lot faster than a traditional aircraft. And another thing you should note, sorry, this is never going to end with me talking, I know we have a lot of other things to look at, is that they don't really have air brakes, but they have spoilers. So these two guys that just came out of the wing, those are spoilers. They spoil the airflow to help you get down faster. Because again, you don't have a second shot for landing out of field here. So like, let's say if we're going to land off field, we don't have an engine. So if we're a little bit too high and we have to stay on course for landing with a good glide slope, we can just deploy our spoilers here to keep us on a happy path. So let's say if we want to land over here, let's get these flaps all the way out here. We can actually get a little bit of slipping in here too. You can look at our airspeed. It's not going too high up, but you can see our altitude is like getting killed. It's getting murdered. That's the nice thing about gliders too, is that you're literally a kite. You can control so much more than a powered aircraft, I find anyways. But yeah, we're literally flying sideways. It's great. I've actually had experiences in real life where we get a good wind and you're literally not moving at all. You look down and it's just like, oh wow, I'm like not moving. The wind equals my airspeed. And this was on the downwind for getting back into the airport, so it's just like, oh, okay, apparently I'm not going back home. I just have to turn to mid downwind. No, you're playing for it, but it's just funny when it happens when you have a slow downwind in a glider. Just make sure you stay close to the airfield. I'm not going to mention any names, but of course there's this one student on my course at York Soaring who didn't have enough altitude to even make it into a downwind. He literally just, oh bugger gear. This is why you have checklists. Yeah, he didn't have any extra altitude. He just flew straight in. He didn't even have altitude for downwind. So yeah, so you just keep the wings level and you can use your landing skid and come to a complete stop. Look at that, we made it. So yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do an actual gliding video in here, because it'll be fun to get back into it. But yeah, let us go forth and take a look at helicopters now. Alright, we're going to try the helicopter training mission just to see if they've added anything into it. Again, it's really nice that Microsoft has added both a thermal viewing system that you can turn on and off that we saw in the intro video. It looks like they've added a similar system to training with helicopters. I'm really interested to see how they've implemented it, because, again, same kind of principles flying a helicopter, but of course, like, you got the cyclic or the collective, and like, you got all these other things going on. Again, I'm a fixed wing pilot, not a rotary pilot, so all you rotor heads out there can correct me on things, but I'll say what I know. I know about like the dead man's curve and getting stuck in a vortex stall. Yeah, because basically, like, you know how the propellers. Well, actually, I think we'll be able to see it if this has the airflow simulator on here. Let's take a quick look. The reason why I'm keeping the loading in is I actually am curious and I want to talk about this, because it's really nice how they have it officially implemented in the system. Because like, you could go with like the basic of how they've done it before, where it's basically you have two invisible wings. Okay, so we do have it implemented. This is really cool. So you can actually see how the vortexes are generated, and maybe I wonder if they have vortex stalls. So basically what a vertex, I'm not sure how to say it again, I'm a fixed wing pilot. is when you're flying and you fly into your own downdraft and you stall through that because you can't produce enough lift. But let's see. Let's add power here. Is there a way for us to use the collective by itself? I'm not completely sure. Okay, it's kind of weird how it goes through the actual cockpit here, but it feels good. It feels very oh man, there's this music again. Okay, I might have to bring us into a new session because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but that's really cool. Kudos to Microsoft. You can actually see how the okay, this is me being curious. I want to see if we can get into like a stall here. This is gonna be a really good. Yeah, I think this is it right here. See that on the top? I was giving it like full power. I'm gonna see if we can try to do it again. If we can go into like our own downdraft here. It's a little bit. I guess this guy's too small or something. Rotor heads. Let me know how to get into like a decent vertex stall. I'm gonna go and load in Toronto with the Bell so we can get like a less distracting view here. Stand by. All right, here we go. The Bell at Toronto City Center. Look at this. Nice. It always feels weird jumping into a helicopter because you have like so much that isn't in front of you and beside you. Like, no smoking on this flight on the Bell 407. Thank you very much. I mean, like, I can definitely see the appeal of being a helicopter pilot. I think, honestly, I would love it. But, yeah, there's a lot of things. It would just feel weird at first, like the collective and everything else. All right, so let's get a little bit of thrust working here. My only... I don't even want to say issue. I don't know if this is more realistic or not. I'm assuming it's more realistic. But it almost feels too stable. Because I push forward on the stick, or the cyclic, or whatever you call it, and it kind of like corrects itself. I don't think that that's how it is in real life. Let me know if you are a rotor head again. I don't know if that's like an autopilot feature or something. I want to turn that off if it is. I checked the settings. There's no like accessibility setting on because I feel like it's a little bit too easy to fly if it's auto correcting itself. But anyways, let's get going here into Toronto and see how this sucker flies. I mean, like, looking at like our torque. Oh my gosh, please no. So, we don't care. Let's go into Toronto and see what we can do here. Okay, actually, let's just not. Okay, so it is off. Okay, cool. Cool beans. So, okay, I guess helicopters are easier to fly than I thought. I don't want to sound like a nugget or anything, but I was just really curious about that. Alright, let us not listen to that. And let us go back to flying. Gotta admit, the rotors, rotoring, spinning does look really good from the exterior view. Let's go back into Toronto here. If you have watched that video about me looking at the CN Tower and stuff, it still looks pretty bad. It looks worse. I don't know what happened, but no, this is handling really nicely. It's honestly like it's more like the DCS levels of aerodynamics now for helicopters. I find this is really nice. It's a lot more responsive and easier to fly than previous entries in the flight sim, like 2004 FSX, and it's even easier than X-Plane, I find. Like, because with X-Plane and good old Flight Sim 2004 and a little bit of SFX, you didn't really have any resistance with the airflow, but this, it feels a lot more realistic in the sense that you're actually fighting against the airflow, which is really, it's a nice change, I find. I bet helicopter pilots are going to like this a lot better because as we saw, you could actually see, well, you can do it in X-Plane and other plugins. You can actually, again, they still have to fix Toronto. I know they had that Canada update, but you guys gotta fix Toronto. It's all weird, mushy glass. But okay, let's keep this about helicopters here. But yeah, like as soon as I let go, like it almost wants to correct itself here. Like it's going back to 0. So there has to be like some kind of correcting thing on, because like I have aerodynamics on like professional, like modern, no helping. So if there is a setting that is in here that's making this like easier, please let me know, because I actually want the authentic experience. And to make, okay, it's not authentic experience until you try to land on a building. Let's go say hi to the CBC. Wait, do they not have a helipad? Huh, okay. I thought they would. Although I guess if they did have a helicopter, it'd be probably operated out of Toronto Center, because I know it's not out of Markham, because I fly out of Markham quite often in real life, and I only see the Global and CTV helicopters here. So yeah, I don't really think they have like vortex stalls and things implemented. If you can get it, let me know. Clip a video in the comments below. Let's get some community action here. But let's get this guy onto the CBC, because that's news to me. Like again, if I let go right now, it's just gonna auto hover. No, it doesn't. Okay, it actually goes back a bit. That's kind of cool. All right, let's actually. I'm pretty sure they've implemented it where you can land on buildings, right? Yes. Let's just. Yes. Okay, so you can land on buildings. Okay, cool. This is a thing in our sketchy. Yeah, that's not a good thumbnail. This is me using like really nice quote-unquote graphics and stuff. Yes, and I've cached this whole area, so this should not look like this. But alas, the helicopters are fun. Fun confirmed. Good animation. Okay, cool. Next thing. Boom. Let's go. Look at my new favorite planes. And what is that wonderful sound, folks? Yes, it is finally... The Beaver is back! Ah! We're in Vancouver today. Look at this. Oh, it's about freaking time, you radial beauty. I wish they had an actual Canadian registered one, though. Not like... G, that's Great Britain, I believe. UK. Look at these boats. I'm on a boat. Just kidding, I'm on a plane. Oh, but look at this, guys. We finally have it. The Beaver is alive and well. And why do we have these on? These should be taken off. I would not make a good bush pilot, Susie. I would be like, why are we doing this? I would love to be, though. But, oh, we can take our friends to, like, islands and stuff now. This is so freaking sweet. I love this. I absolutely adore this. There's Stanley Park. Oh my gosh, we have like a real airplane in here now, folks. Let's give it our all. The water effects aren't that bad either, and it feels really nice. I still have to get my float rating in real life, but oh man, this is a beauty. Oh, the sound. They've done a nice job. Look at that. I think it's probably around there. That's what we're looking at for RPM. Oh man, it's a beast. The amount of power this aircraft has. And the nice thing about it too is kudos to Microsoft. It's the Viking, so like it's the new brand of Beaver. Like sure, it's the Havilland or whatever, but it's Viking, and they can make them into turbo Beavers now. And I'm sorry, as you can tell, I'm really happy. And if you don't know already, I think I've said it before that this is, yes, amphib, and they do have the gear version as well. Oh my gosh. The actual sounds, everything is really nice. And, oh, another feature, was going to be in the actual video at the end, but yes, we do have, you can switch things mid-flight. which, okay, that is hilarious. You can change your cabin too. Like this, they put a lot of love in this airplane because they know how much we've all missed it. If you have never flown the Beaver in the sim before, and you're more a guy about modern day jets and stuff and like just play for fun, give this Beaver a chance. All right, it is so much fun. You can land pretty much anywhere. Oh man, and just listen to the radial when you idle it. I'm not sure if it's gonna do it yet. No, you have to be on the ground. Okay. You probably heard it a little bit once, but it's just the sound of the radial is awesome. And they have rope physics for no reason. So if you have a low-end PC, I'm sorry, but this game is not meant for you. There's also one other classic aircraft I was really excited to see released in this version, and let's switch to it right now. I should also mention too, all the aircraft do have nice new liveries that come with it, so if you do want to fly for Ken Bork and stuff like that, go right ahead. Oh no, we do have Charlie Fox. Okay, I think this is like the original Beaver, was it not? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, OBS, I think that might have been one of the first ones. Off to Google. Okay, anyways, back to the video. Alright, flying above Inuvik in the beautiful Canadian North. Yes, you know it, folks. It's the beautiful DC-3 or C-47, whatever you want to designate it as. It is a classic aircraft, once again brought to life in flight sim with multiple liveries. Oh man, I mean, like, that noise, and of course the compass moving around, that's hilarious. But oh man, this is really amazing. I love this so much. I mean, personally, I'm looking for jobs soon, and I might be flying this aircraft in a few, like, maybe a year or so. I don't know where I'm gonna be landing, pardon the aviation pun, but one of the places I'm looking up is up north, and of course, you go up north in Canada, what do they fly? DC-3s. I mean, if I have such a large appreciation once getting my multi-rating, like how much there really is you have to know to fly this beast, and like BYSC's designated, everything else. I mean, like, I have to admit, they've done a very, very nice job with this model. And of course they have the zero horn. There you go. Get some engines going. Hello, Inuvik. Beautiful Canadian North. Oh man, I love this aircraft a lot. And of course they've done a really nice job with the sound design as well. At least you hope so. They have a higher budget, but yes. This is what pilots love, just ASMR. Not me talking, the beautiful radial engine noise of perfection. Man, this is nice. Like, that's all I have to say is this is nice, and the amount of detail and love they put into it, it's... Ooh, can we look behind? Ooh! Okay, I'm gonna show a follower up because this I wasn't really looking forward to this next aircraft, but I'm just gonna show off this one plane because it's actually hilarious. Gotta admit, I didn't pay much attention to the A4 Herc or whatever it's called, but this thing is a beast. This thing has 8 freaking engines, and you think it looks big? Just look at the cockpit here, or flight deck, whatever you want to call it. Looks pretty big, all the giant dials and everything. Then you look behind you. This is the freaking flight deck. And all these work, by the way. Like, you can see if I like actually give power and stuff, they work. And you can like mess around with it. But this is just a flight deck, and they have like a freaking cafe up here. You can like put a projector here and watch movies with your friends. Take turns flying, play some Tetris on the radio. You can be all LA Noir on this stuff, and talk about radio, see? It could be, what? This thing's a beast. I never really, I've seen pictures of it, but I've never really paid much attention to like this aircraft before. And like, that's the cool thing about what simulators like Flight Sim can do. And again, like with the other new aircraft, they have like all these like auto stuff now. They've learned, they're using the iPads and stuff now. Old-fashioned tablet, knee slapper. But you can actually do stuff. Okay, you can't call pizza, but you can actually do stuff in here now. And obviously, I'm going to show the Airbus A310 in a sec here, and then we'll move on to missions. But I have to admit, I am very impressed by this plane, and just amazed about how actually freaking big this thing is. Like, how? Who sat down with like some Jack Daniels or something and was saying, let's throw 8 engines on some metal and see like if it flies off the water? Yeah, we have a new quote-unquote heavy metal aircraft in here. And of course, like said before, they have the actual iPad working now, and these beautiful aircraft. You can actually go through your checklists, and let's see, where is it? Yes, here it is. This is what I wanted. You can actually finally run a perf in frickin' sim. This is so frickin' total runway of it. Let's say, I don't know, 47 0. I'm sorry, I love it. They finally have perf running. We have an older fashioned Airbus in here. This is so cool. I know I'm freaking out, but it's. Is it perfect? No. Does it work? Yes. It is absolutely freaking cool. And it's another pro, you know? It's like taking off here in Calgary. We can actually have fun. Just fun. This version has given me a few graphical glitches. Like, for some reason, you can kind of see it now. The runway has graphical issues. I'm not sure if YouTube compression will get rid of that or not, but as well as there's still that issue where I want to get rid of this glowy effect on like instruments and I can't get rid of it, as well as zero thrust is no longer zero thrust for me. Like, if I say zero thrust, it goes into reverse. I need to learn to turn that off. But other than that, it's time to crash this plane and look at the real last aircraft. Yes, we do have another awesome radial engine aircraft in here. It's another classic that a lot of people have been waiting a lot of time, and it has the full interior. Look at that. It's Rum Goose. Yes. Goose. It's here, folks, in all of its glory. You too can now do some awesome backcountry flying, or even just go to the Caribbean in this iconic, beautiful sounding, ozone depleting. Just kidding. No, it's fantastic to see this in here. And yes, they do have all the wonderful, well, a lot of them anyways, buttons working. So yeah, again, it's so cool to see level of detail, because like I know that was something I was really hard on this new entry to the Flight Sim series. It's nice to see things becoming a lot more loved, I guess you could say. I mean, like, it's something that, you know, it's. I remember when this game first came out and the freaking passenger seatbelt signs didn't work with a heavy aircraft. It's really cool to see the developer putting time in, and that again, I was worried at first about this game, that the developer was more interested in money, and I obviously have to be for business, but little additions like this really do make my day, or make a game. They can definitely. There's still a lot of issues in the game, and we'll touch on that in like the last section of this video. But it's cool to see all the airplanes that they've added for the community and for free to do. So let's go take a look at a mission, and then we'll come back to my final thoughts on this update. Let's go take a look at the missions. All right. Well, the first mission I just want to see if they actually have it implemented correctly is the Caribbean landing, because I remember playing this as a kid. I believe this was like an RJ, was it? I can't remember, but they're using the 310 for this, so it's not going to be exactly the same, but I just want to see if they have any audio from the original version implemented, or if it's literally just, you know, them trying to do it in the new engine. I'm just curious. I hope they have the original voices. I know a lot of Flight Sim X players would love it if they had the original content in here.
Hello, Captain. Princess Juliana is
on the
southwest side of the island, and the final approach course goes right over a beach full of tourists, many of them with cameras.
Man, that's it.
So keep it steady on short final.
Yeah, I know how to... Okay, I still approve, but I know there would be royalties and stuff, but it would be nice to actually have the voice cast return. I know the budget and stuff probably didn't have it, but...
Lower the flaps to 8 degrees and adjust thrust to maintain 180 knots. You have the airplane. Continue flying heading 120 and maintain 7,000 feet. I'll handle the radios and you fly the approach.
Oh my gosh.
About 25 miles ahead of us. The approach controller will probably vector us out.
They actually have voiceover.
The runway.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to make sure that they actually had a voice okay.
World Travel 268, contact Juliana approach on 128.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm sorry. I was worried there.
See you next time. Juliana approach, World Travel 268.
Okay, I was worried, but they did it. They actually have voiceover. Okay. That's it. That's an awesome freaking update. I don't even need to hear anything else. We'll save that for stream. Final thoughts. All right, so y'all know that I was a little bit harsh when this sim first came out, and for good reason too. I was missing a lot of what it had and charging full price. I gave it a 7 initially, and I've been really thinking about this. I think it's time to boost that. I don't know, like the 40th anniversary edition, it adds a lot of what was missing, so I think I can boost it up to an 8 now. Like personally, because like it has gliders, decent float planes, helicopters. It's got missions with actual voiceover now. They've added a lot of free content, missions, good air. I mean, it's great to see so many aircraft. And if you watch that original video, which I'll pin or whatever, do whatever, that was like a major issue. But like all of these except I think one, I bought the CRJ. It's making it a lot more accessible to people, and I really do love that. I think it's definitely heading in the right direction, and I definitely got to give it an 8 now. Because, I mean, look at all this. Yes, there are still issues. Again, making this video, the game crashed twice. It has major issues loading back into the main menu screens from flights. The SIDS and stars are still messed up for flying IFR, and you know what? There's still a lot of autogen and backend issues that are ruining the experience. Not to mention freaking ads in game that are saying, "Hey, you could buy this airport." But honestly, like, it's so cool, and this is actually working now, tracking flight hours. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 now. Like, there's a lot of backend issues that are still broken, but it's going in totally the right direction. I'm really happy to see this game, this experience become a lot more fleshed out. That's really cool. I'm excited to see what you guys think. Do you guys have any favorite new planes? Do you guys want me to do anything, like any missions, helicopters, planes? Do you want me to do a new gliding video? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you very much for joining me, folks. Like, I'm a lot happier, and again, like I said before, there's still issues, there's still graphical errors, but yeah, no, it's definitely improving. Thanks again. for flying with me today, folks. Fly safe, and as always, happy landings. Oh, and I should also remember, as you pick a hand-catered video, knee slapper, I did have an issue with the gliding stuff, so there's a bonus video attached of me trying to figure out how to work that, so you can go over there and laugh at my incompetence on... Well, okay, they didn't say how to do it, so how to start a freaking tow plane. Okay, go watch another video. See you guys.